Good morning. Hey, Monkey Mind coming to you live from Chicago. Today is Thursday. Hope you guys are doing well. Had a little epiphany this morning about the puppy situation. So I've been struggling with, this separation anxiety thing. But of course, there's always a piece that has to obviously be something that I'm doing, right? Because it's a system. And I'm always talking about family systems, and I'm always talking about how do you recognize and who plays into what. So I was thinking about the fact that the very first day when I got Arthur, I wrote on the chalkboard in my kitchen, do not train anxiety into your dog. And what I meant by that is that I was going to try to use as much mindfulness as I could this time around with this dog, because I know from, good morning, hey Danny, how are you? Good morning. I know from having other dogs, hi Clint, how are you? That you, by repeating commands and just being high strung yourself and kind of being all over the place, that's how you train anxiety into the dog, right? And I was thinking all like high level up here, right? But so what I realized as well is that by not structuring our day and his routines and his behavior, I have actually trained anxiety into my dog, because dogs need structure. And this is why it's such a huge epiphany for me in as far as the coaching, because some people, some personality traits are very disciplined. They're very driven by schedule. They like to map things out, line it up, finish beginning to end, right? Not everybody is like that. The structures for people who are kind of all over the place are the thing that get you through the all over the place, right? But it's like a big epiphany for me, because I'm someone who's not that structured. And I try to teach my coachees how to be more structured. And so this lesson with the puppy is really powerful, because I'm realizing that the structure, so that when I took him to the temperament test, they told me that he lacked confidence, which is such a bizarre thing to hear about a giant yellow lab puppy, right? He's like gregarious, he loves other dogs. Well, he's like that when I'm there, but when I'm not there, he doesn't have this confidence. So I started thinking about all the things that I'm doing to create that situation. And that's one of them, is the structure for him is what gives him the confidence and the safety and the good morning, hey, hi, Jose, is that's where he gets his self-esteem from. And that's a really interesting take on, when someone sits down in front of me from coaching, and they are trying to figure out how to put structure in their life, when that's not something that they learned from a really young age, and it's not something that they easily slide into as well. So that's an amazing little epiphany. And so the other thing I wanted to do today, good morning, hi Patrick, is to thank everybody for your comments and questions. I do get quite a few direct messages. The one thing I will point out though is that most of the comments that I get, this is not a male-female thing, this is just overall on all the comments that I get, the majority of them are about my appearance. And I understand that when you're on camera, that's the thing, right? You're putting yourself out there in front of people. But my real goal is to have something to share with you that has some content to it. So if you want to say something about my appearance, I totally appreciate that. But I would also like to hear that you actually heard what I said. Hey, good morning, Jerry. How are you? What was the content? Do you have a question about that? And maybe, we can work together to be constructive with each other. And so my quote for today, it's a Wayne Dwyer quote, and it says, and I've said this one a million times, but I'm going to say it again because I think it bears repeating on this subject in general, is that when you judge another person, you do not define them, you define yourself. And I've said this to people and literally watched their mind like turn, because it's such a powerful realization that when you're putting something on another person, it's a mirror of what you're feeling or thinking a lot of times inside yourself. And it's important to pay attention to that in the particular climate that we're in right now as far as politics, because people want to judge our current president and throw the judgment at him. But if we're all judging him so harshly that we can spend the entire 24 hours talking about him, if you're on TV, which I don't advise, we're spending 24 hours a day talking about this and judging it and judging it and judging it and judging it. So what does that really deep down say about us and about parts of ourselves that we don't want to look at and don't want to acknowledge? some of that's bubbling up to the surface, and maybe that's a good thing as long as it doesn't get out of hand and people realize that, you know, let's pull it back before something happens that we can't undo. A lot of things have already happened that we can't undo, but you know what I'm talking about. So that's a lot for a Thursday morning. I may or may not be with you guys tomorrow morning. And I noticed that Fridays are my day where I don't get as many views on the videos. And so I'm either going to do it Friday anyway and then play it again for people maybe over the weekend. But anyway, that's something else to talk about another time. Have a great day, guys. Thanks for watching.